Okay, have you guys ever heard of Backpage.com? I had not. But last night I had a dream where I was at an event and I saw people there, and this one guy was like, oh yeah, I've been posting on Backpage. And in my dream, I knew it was like, he goes, it's like we're back in high school, as if we used it in high school. I graduated high school in 2005. So my senior year was 2004 to 2005. And it was kind of like a Facebook thing. In my dream, it was like a MySpace Facebook thing, and I was like, oh my god, isn't it so fun? It's like we're young again. And it was like it had come back in style. Okay, I had no idea what Backpage was, so I looked it up, and first of all, I'm in San Diego, so this is the first thing that comes up. It's for escorts, right? But then I click on Wikipedia, and it says that Backpage was a classified advertising website founded in 2004 by the alternative newspaper chain New Times Inc. / New Times Media, and it was a rival to Craigslist. It was pretty much available in all languages, founded in 2004, so it was around for 20 years because it was actually seized by the FBI in 2018. And I was like, why? Well, pretty much for prostitution, but not only that. On September 14, 2021, federal judge Susan Branovich declared a mistrial in the case, saying that prosecution and their witnesses made excessive references to child sex trafficking in a case where the defendants are not charged with that crime. She said, this is something I cannot overlook and will not overlook. Okay, so of course, I have to start digging in a little deeper. I also found it interesting that the hearing that she scheduled a new trial for February 22nd, 2022. So 22222. What the fuck? But on July 31st of 2023, the co-owner and co-founder James Larkin committed suicide about 1 week before a new trial was scheduled to start. So pretty much Backpage was like another Craigslist. It was their biggest rival. As with other outlets in alternative press, New Times papers were free, relying on advertising, especially classified advertising, to earn money. To counter Craigslist's influence over the vital revenue stream, Lacey and Larkin in 2004 founded Backpage.com, which Wired magazine described as a bare-bones interface wrapped in a Facebooky blue similar to Craigslist in form and function, which of course I found interesting because in my dream it was like a Facebook. So Craigslist and Backpage both had listings for a variety of goods and services such as real estate, yard sales, personals, work wanted, job offering, and adult theme advertising. Reason magazine wrote in August of 2018 that like Craigslist, Backpage was divided into categories for different types of posts, most of which had nothing to do with sex work. But the adult wing of the site subdivided into sections for strippers, phones and websites, dom and fetish, male escorts, and more garnered the attention of most. For Craigslist and Backpage, their adult sections would prove to be a public relations nightmares, with state attorney generals and activists condemning them as havens for ads of prostitution and more. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is a government-funded non-for-profit, President Ernie Allen claimed that the sex traffickers of children no longer parade them on streets of America's cities, but now market them via the internet. So in 2009, a sheriff, Tom Dart, sued Craigslist in federal court, claiming that Craigslist erotic services section was a public nuisance, referring to it as the single largest source of prostitution in America. Craigslist rejected the notion that listings in the adult category were obviously illegal, noting that striptease artist advertising on the site was not prostitution. It also argued that it was shielded by Section 230, which pretty much protects them from anything that was on the site, saying that they're just a third party and that they had nothing to do with it. And as you can see here, this is when Backpage got seized by the government. So when Craigslist ended their adult section, some adult listing almost immediately migrated to Backpage's personal section. They were scattered over several sites as well, but Backpage, already number 2 in the classified ads market, received the most of the post-Craigslist era adult content migrated listings. Many of the same controversies regarding the content moderation and adult advertising that plagued Craigslist would now target Backpage. So the CEO said, it is an opportunity for us, also a time when we need to make sure our content is not illegal. But in September of 2010, a Missouri girl sued Village Voice Media, which was in charge of Backpage, claiming that she had been trafficked at the age of 14 via ads placed on the site and that Backpage had been negligent. But a federal judge dismissed the lawsuit based on the Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. A month after the suit was filed, Backpage hired a federal prosecutor to come up with a strategic plan to combat the misuse of the site's trafficking. They consulted with anti-trafficking organizations about measures to take, such as preventing the use of suggestive terms such as Lolita, incest, and new in town. According to Wired, Backpage had implemented most of these protocols by January of 2011. But Backpage critics and law enforcement accuse Backpage of being a hub for sex trafficking of both adults and minors, despite claims by the website that it sought to block ads suspected of child trafficking or prostitution and reported hundreds per month to the NCMEC, which in turn notified law enforcement. Backpage supporters claimed that providing prompt and detailed information about suspicious postings to law enforcement, including phone numbers, credit cards, numbers, IP address, and websites, help protect minors from trafficking. They contended that shutting down Backpage would drive traffickers to other places on the internet that would be less forthcoming about crucial information for law enforcement. Unfortunately, this did hurt sex workers. Kristen D'Angelo, executive director of the Sex Workers Outreach Project of Sacramento, criticized the shutdown, describing how many sex workers across the United States no longer had a way to support themselves. Backpage allowed for sex workers using the site to post bad date lists, scene clients, and communicate with other sex workers to ensure for the safest possible experience. Activists argued that the move would force some of the site's users to work on the street. An article from Reason published in April of 2023 supported this claim, stating 5 years after Backpage shutdown, sex workers are still suffering, and the shutdown is still worsening the lives it was supposed to improve. And in 2015, Backpage lost all credit card processing agreements as banks came under pressure from law enforcement, leaving Bitcoin as the sole remaining option for paid ads. Sorry to sex workers, but I agree with this person who said even if one minor is sold for sex, it is one too many. So I have no idea why this showed up in my dream, but I guess it was something I was meant to discover, and the fact that so much child sex trafficking goes on the internet, and though they may have shut one site down, doesn't mean it's happening literally everywhere else. So just keep your eyes open, you guys. And if you're a parent, watch what your child is doing, because they're everywhere.